Hey guys, so today I'm going to break down my personal wage while some Skywars plays in the background. Skywars has been playing that a lot recently, so pretty good if I do say so myself. I currently make 50K a year. I know this isn't a lot of money, but the purpose of this video is to show the average of what someone makes and how they spend it. And so I'm currently 21. I'm still in college. I for my job, I currently make 25 an hour. We do get commission. And so that commission is paid out once every quarter. From that commission, it is usually each quarter is usually like 3K. Um, it can fluctuate obviously depending how slow or busy the quarter is. But yeah, an extra 12K each year isn't too bad. 25 an hour is roughly 50K to 55K each year, so pretty good. At least for someone my age and still in college. At least I like to think so. I'm also currently, yeah, like I said, going to college. I do go to college online, so that's how I'm able to work my 40 hours each week. And yeah, I still go to the gym, hang out with my friends, have a social life, so pretty pretty good in that whole aspect. I should be graduating next year with my bachelor's in business administration, business management, tomato tomato. So yeah, let's get into the main topic. My check, pre-taxes is about $2,000 before paying out my taxes and deductions. I get deducted 561 and 23 cents was my last paycheck, and 150 of that was to my 401k. The rest was taxes and benefits. So that leaves me with about 1500 after tax, post tax. 200 of that 1500 goes directly into my Roth IRA. I have my Roth IRA with Robinhood, and no, Robinhood doesn't get the best reputation out there, but I am subscribed to Robinhood Golds, and so that gives me that 3% match into my contributions into my Roth. And at least like Roth wise, I don't really know of any other better options that are contributing. I used to have another brokerage with my Roth, but they weren't contributing anything, obviously. So 3% in my eyes is better than nothing. And I know Robinhood Gold costs like $50 a year, but in my eyes, from the other benefits like the credit card I have with them, it's pretty good. You usually see matches with only your 401k. I haven't really seen other ones match your Roth, so it's pretty good. Um, the difference of a Roth IRA and a 401k, there's a big difference. 401k, if you were paying attention earlier, 401k is pre-taxes. So in your paycheck is usually with your employer. In your paycheck, they'll usually deduct a percentage that you select, and that will be deposited into your 401k. Your 401k will be a set of investments your employer usually chooses to help you retire once you reach retirement age. So the main difference between a Roth and a 401k is just when the money comes out. So the 401k is pre-taxed and the Roth is post-tax. So from after the money hits my account, that money I can deposit into my Roth IRA. The benefit is once I hit retirement, I don't have to pay taxes on what I've made in my Roth. And so it's pretty good, especially if you can start building it up earlier in life. So once you hit retirement, it's pretty good. It'll grow up to however much you've been putting in. I'm trying to aim for 2 mil for once I retire, but I'm gonna up my just make sure that you match the limit. There is currently a limit on Roths. It's I think this year is 7,500. Hopefully it increases next year, but I am in track on matching on capping out on my Roth. Currently invested in the VOO and VEU. Of those $200 into my Roth, 150 goes into VOO and then $50 goes into VEU. I chose these two ETFs for exposure to the market and simplicity. I don't like thinking too much about my investments. Those $200 get separated. I don't even see those $200. Those get directly deposited into the Robinhood, and then Robinhood gets automatically invested into the VOO and VEU. And I don't like making it complicated. You see people out there on the internet making it complicated and doing calls and puts. I'm not doing all that. I'm just here for the simplicity, here to make sure that I have money, more money so I can retire with it. Just makes this Having that deposited aside from my main bank account just makes this whole process as set and forget and hands-free as possible. And that's how I like to manage my retirement account, just out of sight and out of mind. Um, yeah. I do have plans to increase my investment amounts and invest into regular brokerage and hopefully use the funds for that for a house. But that's later on the road, hopefully next year. That is one of my goals though. Now, so 1500 minus 200, that leaves us with 1300. From the 1300, I have left 500 goes directly into my savings account. So I do currently have a high yield savings account with Marcus. Marcus is the bank that is backed by Goldman Sachs. In that savings account, is currently paying a 3.4 APY. So it is a high yield savings account, earning me a little bit of interest. My goal is to get that savings account to 10K this year, 10K, and leave it as my emergency funds. Just don't touch those. Just set it aside. Forget. If I have an emergency, I have cash and I don't have to pull out from my Roth or take a loan out from my 401k or just a loan in general. Um, but yeah, the rest of 1300 minus 500, that leaves us with 800. From those 800, um, that all goes towards bills and miscellaneous purchases that I be making throughout the week. So bills, I don't really have too many bills. I'm lucky to say that. I don't pay rent. I'm lucky enough to still live with my parents, but I do help out with a few bills around the house. My two bills include a water bill and an internet bill. My water bill, it depends, fluctuates up and down, but on average it's about 200 bucks each month, and my internet is about 80 bucks a month. I do have some subscriptions and a car payment as well. So my car payment is my biggest bill. It is currently 350 a month. I am in the process of paying this down a lot faster. Of the original 20K I owe, I usually have 9K left on the loan, and I put my bonuses, my commission off of into my car. And so I think I've paid it down an extra, how much? Two, four, six, like 6K this year already. And so like I said, I'm down to 9K left on the loan, and I should be done by the end of the year. Subscriptions consist of Amazon. I do have the student discount, so it is $8 a month. I have a gym membership that is 37 bucks a month, and my insurance. My insurance is second biggest bill. It is the biggest pain in the ass I have. I currently am with State Farm. State Farm is the cheapest one I have, and they're charging me 258 a month. I do. I am somewhat. I got consider myself smart for this, but I pay it all in one go, the 6 months. Um, they don't give me a discount or anything. It's just in my mind, the way it works is if I don't see it, it's not a bill, so it's not. I still get those extra 250 each month. But if you divide that by 6 months, which is what their policy is, 258 times 6 ends up 258 times 6 ends up being 1,548, which is still kind of crazy. I am still young and I drive a sports car, and so young and dumb equals paying high in insurance. I do have a few tickets. I think I have one ticket on my record, and so I'm sure they love taxing me out of that. Um, yeah, that usually leaves me around 400-ish dollars after all that is paid off. Um, my car payment is paid in advance, so I'm currently 2 months ahead. So from the 350 that is that I'll have to pay each month, and then the 200, it's about like, let's see, 350 plus 250, about 600 bucks. It's usually less than this, but let's just say 500 just on average. Leaves me 500 bucks to spend, and this spending would include any miscellaneous purchases like food, like going out with my friends, and gas. I don't include gas in this bill. Gas just goes into the spending for me. And anything else. Now, the way I do that spending also is a way I save money. I currently do my spending on two main credit cards, which are the main ones I currently use. I touched about it earlier, but I do have the Robinhood Gold card. That card is awesome. That card gives me 3% cash back on everything. There are a few limitations. I think they just changed the policy to where you can't do foreign transactions. There will be a foreign transaction fee, but I was lucky to get in beforehand, so that doesn't apply for me. But 300, not 300, 3% cash back off of everything. My limit is pretty high, so I mainly use that for all my purchases. And then I also have the Amazon credit card. That one gives you 5% cash back on Amazon. I don't order too much on Amazon, but it's more convenient than going to the store for something big, and they usually have those discounts. And so, pretty good, pretty good. And then you also get a bunch of perks. For those two cards, you do have to have the subscription. So for the Amazon, you have to have Amazon Prime, and then for the Robinhood Golds, you have to have their Gold subscription. But on their own, who doesn't have Prime, like for the fast, you get other benefits apart from just for the credit cards. And so in my eyes, I don't see it as an annual fee. I see it as, oh, I also get this awesome credit card with subscription, and so why not? And we'll see. This obviously depends if they increase or decrease the subscription, how much the subscription is. But currently, for the current prices, I'm paying Amazon Prime $8 a month, perfect, and Amazon, and then the Robinhood Gold is only 50 bucks a year, and so it's even better. And so I'm not tripping too much. And so I'm getting my monies back from what I'm putting in, and so I'm happy for that. With the Amazon Prime, since I'm a student, I do get like Amazon Video and music for free, stuff like that. I don't use Amazon Music or Video, but it's good to have watching Invincible on there every now and then. It's pretty cool. Um, what else? That's usually it for my spending. I touched about it earlier too, but I have goals for this year. It's good to have goals, just keep you on track with your financial habits. You don't want to stray too far, especially at this age. Like we're all young, and you might not be thinking 10, 20 years ahead. You're not thinking how am I gonna buy a house. You're not thinking how I'm gonna retire. And so just at this age, just thinking super early about that really helps you aside because you can start small and what you have and benefit for you is time, and so that helps a lot. My goal is, like I said earlier, is set up a emergency fund of 10K. That's usually all my bills for 6 months or more. So if I get fired or anything, I quit my job, I'll be chilling for a few months. I don't have to worry too much about my bills. And then my other goal is to pay off the car by the end of the year. Just having a car payment, I regret so much. I was 18, 19 when I got the car. And in the last 2 years, I've grown a lot, and so I just regret not getting a cash car. I don't regret that it's a sports car or anything like that. I just wish I gotten paid in cash for a sports car. I like driving a nicer car, and so that's a trade-off I'm willing to make. I love my car, but just wish I had paid cash. And then just max out my ROF. Just maxing out that ROF is also a priority. Just it'll be the first year I've maxed out my ROF, and I think I make enough to max it out. You have more than a year to max it out your ROF. The tax year. You have the full tax year, so it'll be until April 15, around that time that you have to max out your ROF. And so even if January 1 rolls around, next year rolls around, I still have like 4 more months to max it out. And yeah, I'm just keeping that simple. Next year, once I don't have my car bill no more. I do want to put that extra cash, that 350 I'm paying into the car. I want to keep using that 350 into a brokerage. With the brokerage, probably invest in the same thing. All reality, same thing into VOO and VEU. That way, I don't have to just worry too much. My plan is with that separate brokerage, use that money for a down payment on a house, and then I'm thinking about buying a house in 5 to 10 years. And so, depending how much that grows, and if I have a SO by the time I buy a house, we can both pool in our money and just put a massive down payment, or just hopefully just buy the house off completely in cash. So either cash house or a super small mortgage, which would be great. Just being 30 something with an already paid off house just gives you so much time to like travel and just enjoy your later lives. It does get hard, like seeing all your friends travel now and everyone just hanging out, and but I like to think I'm disciplined enough to know that I'm trading a little bit of sacrifice now so I can enjoy a lot more, a lot longer later on. Because later on, everyone's gonna have their kids, have their house, but everyone's gonna have their mortgage bill. Oh, I can't go out no more because of my kids, and I do want kids, but me and my kids we will be going out because I don't have a mortgage loan or my mortgage isn't so big. But yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble on. Um, it was great. Y'all have a great day. Leave a comment section about how I helped y'all out or any tips or advice for me. I'd love to see what I can change to benefit me more. You have a great day. Thank you.